Okay, great. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our information session today for programming for game development. My name is Div Mehnirata, and I'm the recruitment advisor at the Chang School. Before we get started, I would like to acknowledge the land on which Toronto Metropolitan University is built upon. Toronto is in the Dish with One Spoon territory. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. I thank the Indigenous people of Turtle Island for their efforts to protect the land, and I deeply regret the past injustices they have endured. As Toronto Metropolitan University seeks to move forward in partnership with Indigenous peoples, I pledge to foster an environment that is more inclusive and welcoming of Indigenous peoples from all communities. Now, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's session. Your microphone will be muted throughout the event so as not to disturb other attendees or the presenters. For the hearing impaired, we have automated captioning available, which you can access by activating it in the toolbar at the bottom of your screen. You're free to submit questions for today's speakers at any time by typing them into the questions box in your control panel. We'll collect them throughout the session and address them at the end of the presentation. Okay, so now I would like to introduce our guest speakers for today. So we have Dr. Alex Furwan, Academic Coordinator of the certificate. We have Dylan Rafka, who's an instructor, program advisory lead, and subject matter expert at the Chang School. And we have Dr. Chris Alexander, Professor of Video Games and the Director of Red Bull Gaming Hub. We're really excited to have this amazing panel of speakers share their insights today. Okay, so before we move on, we'd like to do a quick poll to get things going, just to do a little temperature check of the room. Can we have the poll, please? Great. So we have two questions. So the first one is, what motivated you most to consider the certificates? And for the options, we have career advancement, career change, skill building for current role, personal interest, or other. And question two, we have, what is the current level of familiarity with this certificate program? Starting from low, I have minimal or no prior knowledge. Moderate, I have basic awareness. And high, I'm well informed about the program. So please, everyone, take a few seconds to just fill in the poll. We'd love to hear where everyone's coming from, and we'd love if you participate and make this session a little interactive. We'll have the poll up for a couple of seconds and then we'll share the results with everybody. Okay, great. So here we go. We have the results in. Career change is the first one, and followed by personal interest and career advancement. And for the level of familiarity, we have low, which is perfectly okay. This is why we have the info session 4, followed by moderate and high. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and doing the poll as well. Now I will invite our academic coordinator, Dr. Alex Furwan, to share the certificate overview. Alex is a professor of computer science in the Faculty of Science, vice chair at Senate at Toronto Metropolitan University. Welcome, Alex.
Well, thank you very much, Div, for the opportunity. What you'll see in front of you is what we hope to cover today, and each one of us has kind of a different riff off of each one of these things. So next slide, please. This actually may be the most important slide before you actually sign up. There's the information on it is accurate, but really it doesn't emphasize the important bit, which is you can do this certificate as quickly or as slowly as you like, within reason. You can take years to actually complete the certificate if that's your intent, or you can try and do it as quickly as possible. Also, it's extremely flexible because there's no really prerequisite structure. Universities are famous for throwing roadblocks in the way of things. You don't know one thing, and we make an assumption that you can't learn it on the fly in the course. We don't do that in the certificate. So we will give you kind of just in time training when it's required for you to actually progress. So this means that there's a lot more flexibility for you. The biggest thing is you don't have to come to our campus. It is online. All the work that you'll be doing, the portfolio you're creating, will all be presented to you. You'll be presenting it, whatever you've created, to the instructors, and it's done completely remotely. Next slide, please. Um, there's a lot of reasons, and we keep coming up with more people who have even more reasons than this. I'm a professor at a university, and I have students who, computer science students, and they want to take the certificate because we don't cover animation as, gaming as a core piece of our educational platform. We have students who desire this. In fact, we have a gaming club that actually relies on the instructors that are key to this certificate. Who knows why you want to do it? And there are a lot of programmers who end up in gaming simply because they wish to do the animation components of it, or they wish to do the simulation components of it. And whatever the reason is, there's always a good reason to do some kind of game. Next slide, please. So you gain a lot of experience with a lot of tools. So this is a technically oriented certificate, meaning we will give you tools to actually make things. The languages that are you'll be exposed to, and if you already know them, that's fine too, but being exposed to them in a different way, we'll work with whatever you have. So there's C#, C++, plus your choice of game engines. So we have Unity and Unreal. We'll support them both. And I think you'll hear from Dr. Chris Alexander, who will tell you a little bit more about other options that you might want to consider as well. So there's a big gamut of what you might be able to do. Also, one of the most important things as a certificate is the workflows involved in creating games and how gaming works and how the industry works. And you'll be given insight into that as well. And the key, especially for those who are job seekers, it is the development of a portfolio. So your work is your work, and you will have worked reasonably hard to produce it. And it is how you show your skills to potential employers. It's also you have some bragging rights for it because you'll be making games, and people love games. I guess the final component is the AI assisted coding and AI assisted other things that are involved in the certificate. So the certificate has been revised to not just allow, but allow AI to assist you in doing things like programming. And one of the courses, the elective course, AI assisted Python programming, you get right into the man-machine bond that apparently is all coming our way. Next slide, please. There is a technical focus in the certificate, meaning that we will show you how to do things, and we're showing you how to do things so you can actually do them on your own. As I said, it's portfolio driven. So if you have an exam, I would be very surprised. We don't have them. We just have performance based on things that you make and evaluations based on things that you do. So this is actually not what you might consider a university or a college course in that sense. We want you to strive to make things. you will also have a great deal of exposure to industry opportunities, and some of that will be touched upon today by our course instructors who are well connected in the gaming industry. Next slide. So we want a happy customer. So if you sign up with us, we want you to not just learn the material, that's one stage of this, but we want you to succeed. And what we mean by succeed is whatever your goal is, we will help to support that goal. So if you're trying to say move up in your organization that might do gaming on this, we will actually provide support for that. So if you need to have coaching for how to produce a CV or a resume that is your particular place needs, we will help you with that. If you need letters of support, we will provide them. If you need someone, because the potential employer wants someone to call to check on your background in relation to this gaming, we will do that for you as well. So we want you to succeed. And the reason we want you to succeed is because you are our best ambassadors. So if other people find out about us, we succeed as well, and then your credential becomes even more valuable. So it's self-serving in a kind of roundabout way. Next slide, please. So there is a lot of information concerning this certificate, and hopefully today during the information session you'll be able to ask questions and get serious answers about things that you're concerned about or things that you're just curious about. And I invite you to do both. So visit our website, determine what it's all about, and talk to Dylan and Chris Alexander. And next slide. And I think we've hit it. Yep, we've hit it. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Alex, for sharing the overview. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Dylan Rafka, instructor, program advisory lead, and subject matter expert at the Cheng School. Dylan also is a senior support developer at Unity. Welcome, Dylan.
Hello, thanks for having me. Oh, thank you. Pleasure to be here. Would you like me to explain, tell you a little bit about myself, explain about the course a little bit?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and yeah, thanks for joining us today. I'm excited to answer any of your questions that you might have along with my colleagues today. Yeah, so as mentioned, my name is Dylan Rafka. I'm an instructor and subject matter expert here at the Cheng School and the program advisory lead for the Programming for Game Development certificate. And I do teach two of the courses in the certificate, CKCS 510 and 520. So that's technical foundations for game developers and simulating force and motion in games. So, which is all about physics and how you can leverage it to make some fun interactions in a game prototype. But yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I studied game programming at Humber Polytechnic. That's where I met Dr. Chris Alexander. He was one of my instructors, and I created a scuba diving virtual reality simulation based on my personal scuba diving experiences. For anyone who's not able to try scuba diving for whatever reason or just wants to try it out with a virtual reality headset. And that was before they had the touch controllers and before virtual reality was becoming a big thing. But the key takeaway from that project was that it opened the door to lots of new opportunities. And I realized that there is more to life than just games. If you can make games, you can do almost anything with real-time 3D using Unity or Unreal or a different type of tool. So then I thought I'd end up in a game studio, but I ended up in the healthcare space, developing virtual and augmented reality applications for some big pharmaceutical companies. And I traveled around the States attending medical conferences, helping these doctors put the headset on and supporting the projects that I had developed. But inevitably, I ended up working at Unity. So I've been there for a bit over 5 years now, doing developer support, helping game developers integrate multiplayer services into their projects. if their players are having trouble connecting or they're having some bugs, I help them with troubleshooting and supporting them. So I've been doing that for about 5 years, and it's been a great experience as well. And also just yeah, teaching here at the Ching School, and really happy to share my experience and my knowledge with everybody. And yeah, the certificate has 4 main courses, but there was also the Master AI Assisted Python Coding elective, which was mentioned as well. But yeah, the 4 original courses are the 2 that I mentioned: Technical Foundations for Game Developers, where we kind of just get introduced to Unity and Unreal and learn about game engines and how to use them and build our first little prototype. And also get comfortable with AI assisted programming using AI tools to help enhance our workflow. And then CKCS 520, making things move and collide with each other, and all kinds of fun physics interactions. And you can continue building on that same prototype that you built in the 510 course. You can use the same project, or you can start something completely new. But the key is that you're actually developing a prototype and you have something to show and add to your portfolio at the end. As Alex was mentioning, it's a very hands-on, practical course where we very project-driven, no exams. And then yeah, there's CKCS 530, which is more focused on game mechanics and game design and usability and all of that kind of stuff. And then there's CKCS 540, which is focusing on the video game studio environment and collaboration and using things like GitHub for source control and teamwork and giving and receiving feedback and different types of roles and all kinds of different things that you would experience in an actual studio environment. So the courses complement each other well. As Alex mentioned, you can take them in any order, take as long as you would like for the most part to finish them. And yeah, I'll be here to help you along the way. Thanks for listening. I think that's all for now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really insightful. So now we have the video games professor, public speaker, online education specialist with over 30 years of connecting theory and practice, Dr. Chris Alexander. Dr. Chris is also the director of Red Bull Gaming Hub and a professor at TMU. Welcome, Dr. Chris.
Thank you. How y'all doing today? Woo, I'm so excited to be here. It is great to see you all. Thank you for showing up. I'm very excited to answer many of your questions. I've already answered 2 of them over there. We're having a great time. The first analogy I want to get off right off the bat is that this program is very similar to going to the gym, and how you show up is how you're going to show up. We can't give you the knowledge of programming. We can give you the steps and the process, but it's only you that can go to the gym and grow this muscle. Dylan has spoken a lot about the different languages that he programs in. He has worked in Unreal. He works at Unity. So that already covers the question about C++ and C#. And as I mentioned in the comments there, we've been working a little bit with GScript in Godot. And I've been doing some work inside of SandBox, also known as Sandbox. That's the bespoke engine that's eventually going to be publishing directly to the Steam store. So part of what we want to talk about, well, what I want to talk to you about is that you are the new industry. And I can't wait for the questions that are going to talk about, hey, what about jobs in industry and what's happening in industry? If you look at what's currently going on in the industry, there is a boom for you. What do I mean? Oh, let's transition. I'll show you some magic. I'm not going to do that intro because I'm too excited about this. So some people might be saying, oh, what about this company? And what about what's happening with Sony and backtracking and physical discs and all that stuff, which I can't wait for the questions period. But I want to talk to you about 3 specific cases. 1, Hollow Knight Silksong. 2, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And 3, Slay the Spire 2. All right. So when we talk about those exact numbers, let's do it right now. Take a look. This is pretty nuts, man. Hollow Knight Silksong, 6-week milestone, 6+ million sold. Okay. That's a team of 5 humans, Team Cherry, for those of you who didn't know. Clair Obscur, team of 30 to 50 all across the world. 250 million. And Slay the Spire 2, which was redeveloped. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be talking about this with Dylan around. Redeveloped inside of Godot. But it's all this to say that you actually are the industry. My favorite thing about what Dylan said was, if you can build games, you can pretty much do anything. I recently released my first commercially available title on Google, on the Google Play Store and Apple iOS Store. And this is a game that's helping parents learn how to sleep train their babies. Oh my goodness. And so I've been doing a lot of work with doctors and hospitals, and that's my specific niche that we see right now. I'm also working with a bunch of doctors on a game about, wait for it, none of y'all know about this, perimenopause. That's right. I'm making a video game about that, and there are doctors, organizations that are reaching out to build in those areas. So we want you to think outside of the shoot 'em up games and all of this. There are practical applications for everything that you're doing. We're using virtual reality to treat burn victims, because we learned that when you put somebody that's injured through burns inside of VR, you can reduce their pain. So these types of things, we want you to think beyond games, because as Dylan mentioned, it pertains to everything. I see a comment over there. You select only our, okay. Or, oh, okay. That sounds like a cool comment, anonymous attendee. You know how excited I am, Dylan, about anonymous comments. That seemed like a compliment. It just says cool. Well, thank you, anonymous attendee. Any other questions from our live studio audience? There's so much we wanted to show you. For example, I guess I could show you this. We can talk to you about, AI. Dylan was talking about AI assisted programming. I'm currently, get ready for this transition. Y'all don't know about this. Right here, I'm working with the Raspberry Pi B5 to start working on a personal assistant and a personal AI. This is a Raspberry Pi Sugar right here, as you can clearly see right there. But this is making my Raspberry Pi 5B a portable device. I'm using an open source AI tool called Parakeet, and that will allow me to, with a microphone module, speak into this. I originally made it for gardening, but now I have a whole bunch of people reaching out asking, hey, Chris, how can you develop this for my practice? So these types of things are the things we want you to see. Your brain plus AI plus these readily available tools, which you should be aware, once you join our school, you have access to Google's Gemini, which means you can prototype apps in a browser as part of your learning and instruction. Let's see, there's a question. I've been hearing that AI is being used to do complex gaming. Will it replace game developers? No, anonymous attendee. Specifically, when you're talking about that, typically you're talking about these news releases of AAA companies that are often trying to appeal to shareholders. I don't know about Hollow Knight Silksong. I don't know about Claire Expedition, and I don't know about Slay the Spire, or Balatro, but the love inside of those games, no, it's not going to be replaced. If you've ever played any Nintendo game, Splatoon 3, and Nintendo has already said, no, they're not going to use AI. If you've ever played Splatoon Raiders, no, it's not going to replace developers. What's going to happen is just like the Renaissance. And if you look at Ubisoft at a time when they were two words, Ubi and Soft, they're producing games like Splinter Cell and Rayman. I'm not the one to talk about video games, by the way. So you can see a difference in what's happening in the industry right now, in that we're returning to a renaissance where it's you that's going to determine the direction. It's not about a whole bunch of suits that don't know about video games that see the success in Fortnite and say, we demand that you do this here, and curve things, right? You're hearing about the different things that are happening with companies that are changing their policies as well as backpedaling. I don't know if you know about this. Okay, this is crazy where I'm going right now. You know that Disney's Lorcana is going to be turned into a digital trading card game soon, which I believe is going to cause a huge headache for Magic the Gathering, whose player base has been shifting towards franchises like Street Fighter and Transformers. Don't get me started. Next question over here. Anne-Marie. Yo, what's up, Anne-Marie the Great? Are you saying that at the end of each 4-course, you code the game assets, the motions, the mechanics, and design of a single game prototype? Or you build two single or more multi-dimensional video games or serious games, having scaffolding the building of them across the 4 areas? That's a perfect question. I'm going to say the answer is yes. I know that the answer is yes, but I think that Dylan and Div should answer too, because y'all don't want to hear me talk all day. Over to you.
I can jump in. Yeah, thanks for that question. Yes. So yeah, if you're really passionate about a specific idea, you can build that project and continue building on it throughout the different courses. In CKCS 510, you could start the initial prototyping and like work on some game mechanics, and then like actually see them in action. And then in the CKCS 520 course, you can make it come to life more with, as I mentioned, like acceleration with physics and collisions and all that kind of stuff. And then in the 530 course, you can still continue working on that same project and add even more design mechanics to it and work on the user experience and continue iterating on it. And then, yeah, you can continue working on the same project throughout the entire certificate, or you can have a bunch of mini prototypes that showcase different skills that you've gained in the different courses. So it's totally up to you. Yeah, the courses complement each other. You can take them in any order. And yeah, we go through the entire life cycle of starting with an idea, coming up with a concept, a full game design document in the game mechanics and design course, and then finding those assets either on an asset store or working with an artist, creating the assets yourself, or maybe working with AI, whichever you prefer, to get those assets into Unity or into Unreal or into whichever tool you're using. And then we get more hands-on with programming and writing some scripts with C# or C++ with Unreal, and leveraging the AI tools to help us with that and making sure that we're comfortable with that. Testing and debugging on the target device, whether it's a phone or a headset or just on a PC or multiple platforms, which you can do pretty easily with Unity and Unreal. And then, yeah, getting feedback from your peers and your family and colleagues and whoever, just to continue improving on it. And then, of course, presenting that project at the end with a little showcase where we invite industry experts to come and attend and see the awesome work that you've been doing throughout the course.
And we also did a live stream on Twitch last year.
Oh, yeah.
To show off the student projects. We did do that. In the chat, anonymous attendee who could be the same human, we don't know, or could be AI. Dylan, are you seeing any impact of AI at Unity? And I don't know if they're talking about Adobe. I'm just kidding. It's
yeah. Well, it's interesting. Like, yeah, the technology space has evolved. Unity has evolved and changed, and I guess so have I. And we have to adapt and keep up with the new trends and learn how to use these new tools. I think there was something from Google that looked like it could make a little game within a matter of seconds using AI, and but it was really more just like an interactive video. But yeah, Unity is turning into a bit of an AI focused kind of company, right? Like they've got their AI assistant right in the Unity editor, which you can talk to, and it'll help you make a game prototype. It'll write code for you, and then of course you need to make sure you understand what it's doing. You can even ask it, explain this to me so that I actually understand what you're doing here. So the prompts are really important too, but they've got their AI assistant built right into the editor. There's a package for that, but they've also got they've got a setup so you can use other tools. Like if you're using Claude Code, you can integrate that with Unity so that it can make changes to the Unity editor and change your scene, move your game objects around, not just changing the code and the scripts, but also changing the layout of your entire scene. So it's very powerful. And yeah, I think just as an employee at Unity, I've tried to learn as much as I can about AI and accept the challenge of learning it and using the AI assistant in Unity, using Claude Code. And I think it has helped me to work a bit faster and make things a little bit easier. Some things that would take me days to solve a bug, it's a lot easier and faster now. So there's definitely some benefits. Yeah.
Yeah. So excellent response. We have another question. I'm happy to take this one. It's my favorite, usually from an anonymous attendee. What is the possibility of finding a decent job in the end of the course, especially in this job market? Well, let's take a look at this job market right now. Transitioning, here we go. Currently in the video games industry, just on one site, there are only 12,698 potential jobs for you. Okay, only. Now, it's important to note that you can look at all these companies right now. I'll put it in the chat, but every day there are game design and there are roles here that are international. Some of them are remote, but none of this matters if you do not put in the work. And that's what I want to explain again. These 12,000 jobs, none of them matter if you don't put in the work. Dylan and I release titles. Because we release titles doesn't automatically mean you can release titles. We are your trainers. We will help you get there, but only you can do the work. Only you can set up the developer account. Only you can do the AAB signatures on the Google Play Store and the test flight on iOS. I know how to do all of that. Dylan knows how to do all of that. I can tell you how to do it, but we can't do it for you. So these jobs, you can apply for those. You will see what they're looking for. You can reverse engineer those jobs to apply for them. You will get good if you choose to get good. I know that that answers your question. It's a difficult one, but you got to put in the reps. And if you love it, you live it. Let me finish that question. There's another one right here. Does the program cover optimization for different platforms, PC, console, mobile? And has that cross-platform coding knowledge helped any grads get hired at studios working on live service or multi-platform titles? Excellent question. The second part, I'm not sure. You'll have to help with that one, Dylan. But the first part, yes, absolutely. We have to look at optimization. And of course, we have tools and tooling to estimate and test that. In my own case, if some of you decide to do iOS apps, you'll be using Xcode, which will allow you to prototype on a device and look at the stats in real time. And then you can run tests if you wanted to use AI to run prototypes on different models of iPhones, all the way back to like earlier models to see if they'll overheat the CPU and the GPU, for example. I had to cut my game from 30 FPS from 60 to 30 just because users on iPhone 14s were having trouble. And for the second part, I don't have any specific statistics of live service multi-platform titles, but we do have instructors that have worked on Apex Legends that you might be in contact with that would have that answer to that question. I don't know. Do you know any stats like that, Dylan? I don't know. That's very specific.
Well, I see that there is a another comment there in the Q&A that touches on it, because I did see that there was already a success story. Considering that the certificate is still relatively new, we are already seeing some success stories, and a lot of the recent grads are also pursuing creating their own game because they've already created something in the course, and they're passionate about it, and there's an opportunity to even start your own studio as well. But yeah, there are some success stories already coming out of the certificate. And as for cross-platform, absolutely. You can choose any platform or create a cross-platform project in the course. I think CKCS 510 is a good course for you to do that. Yeah, and test it out on the different devices throughout the course. Because yeah, Unreal is good at it, but I know Unity is really good at it when it comes to creating one project and building it for any device, any platform, any audience. And also, there's also something else to be said about integrating the services, because Unity and Unreal are more than just game engines. They have tools for integrating multiplayer services, analytics, so you can see how your players or users are actually engaging. And those kind of things can be covered in the course as well if you want to try to integrate some of the actual live operation services. Maybe you want to have in-app purchases or monetize your game with ads or something like that, right? Those are all possibilities.
There's also an insidious expansion of the available jobs or career opportunities. So what used to happen was you'd be a very specific programmer and you'd work in a simulation engine. A lot of those simulation engines have simply been abandoned, right? So my area is I'm an academic, right? But I work in emergency management as well. And a lot of these simulations that used to happen were toy simulations, but found with game engines, game programming, and with the advent of AI, the simulations have gotten a lot better, which means that the first responders trust them more. So then you're able to actually expand on the simulations. They're not frivolous games, they're serious games. So what do you do when someone's trapped under rubble and you're practicing to actually extricate the person? These are all VR games. What do you do when you're fighting a fire but you don't actually have a fire? Not everybody has a fire school, but I saw a simulation based on Unity that had one trick to it, which it gave you a hose and a pulley. And you put on a fire suit, like a bunker suit, and the only trick was that the pulley, as you turned on the hose, would pull you back as if you're fighting the hose. But the entire simulation was based on a heat pack that they got from their version of Canadian Tire. And when you got closer to the fire, your suit got hotter. And when you're fighting the fire, the flames changed, and you were scored on your ability to actually extinguish that virtual fire, because it's expensive to put up a real fire. So you do this one first, and then they'll trust you with the fuel, right? But that's only one thing. Military simulations are expanding all over the place. We used to be in the infantry, so we used to practice in life. So we would actually do a practice session, but you can't do many practice sessions in real life. However, in a game, you can play it over and over and over again to get better at it. So then the military picked it up. And you might have noticed that the Canadian Armed Forces is expanding, and where one of the areas they're expanding in is this area. So I would say that the 12,000 jobs, was that what you said, Chris? 12,000 jobs that are available?
More than 12,000, yes. 12,698 today.
Yeah, so that's the overt stuff.
Yeah,
there's the stuff that's coming up that is, I wouldn't call it covert exactly, maybe nascent. It's like it's not quite ready yet, but it's coming. So anyways, that's my addition.
Yo, there's a bunch of questions. I'm trying to get to them and type to them at the same time. One from ML, who decided to name themselves. Thanks for that. My background is not in gaming at all. How easy will it be for me to overcome that? And I started typing. This is arguably one of the best positions to be in. It means that you're open to learning. And I would say that one of the best X-Men is Rogue, because she could be whoever she wants. And that's the position that you're in right now. You can choose a language that you're comfortable with, try it out for a bit. You can choose to start in GScript, and you will overcome that once you realize that now, in addition to your brain, you can use your mouth to talk to machine via AI, and then you can work through what it is you want to bring to fruition. There are a couple of highlights at the top. I want to read those. Allegedly, a recent graduate with no computer programming in Unity and Unreal just landed the sole video game developer position at the largest private government partnered retirement home company in Canada, where he creates video games for the residents to play, to simulate and augment their cognitive sharpness. That's my first answer to what you're saying, ML. And another one, also on LinkedIn, they saw that a graduate was hired in by Electronic Arts office in Montreal on Stanley Street as a game assets developer. Oh, Masher wanted to answer that one too. My bad. Go ahead, Masher. Oh, you wanted to answer them both. Yo, I didn't see that it said that. My bad. Go ahead. Unlock. Can I give you some what? What, ML? Money or jobs? What's that, ML? What you asking me for? Put that back in the chat. Go ahead, Masher. My bad.
Dr. Chris, I think Mashur meant that he'd want you to answer it live.
Oh, got it. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I did do that then. Great.
Yeah.
So I'll just click on done for that.
Oh, I'll just add one thing. Yeah. So whether you're lots of experience with programming before, or you're new to it, the courses are structured in a way that it doesn't matter. We can start in the shallow end, and if you've already got some experience, it'll help you, but it's not a requirement by any means. And
So
yeah,
ML, we just gave you some answers, but I'm gonna cut and paste one right there for you to see as well from the quote from above, just in case you missed it or the internet cut out on ya. Yeah. I wrote reference letters for Dylan, yo. I helped walk resumes into Ubisoft. Like, yo, I promise you, when you're good, we become your biggest ambassadors. We have no choice. We're trying to help you get out there. We talk to organizations all the time. If you go to my LinkedIn feed, you'll see industry will look, because I often tell my students to post their assignments on their LinkedIn and tag me in it so I can share it. There are people that go into the DMs of my reposts to ask for the contact information for students to hire them. But the work is good, yo. That's the thing that I want you to focus on. The work is what you should focus on. All the other things are going to come when you focus on the work. Did I answer all those ones? Okay. Any other questions, Your Honor? This is so fun. Y'all are the best. Thank you for showing up. This feels like a Twitch stream. I should have told y'all you could have joined into my Twitch chat and put things live on screen even during this chat, but I don't know how old any of y'all are, whether or not you'd be into that.
Okay, great. So I think we don't have any more open questions as of now. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for putting in such interesting and such cool questions, and to our speakers for such interesting answers. I would just like to read a small note before my closing remarks. So just to let everybody know that students will attend weekly 3-hour Zoom class with a game developer like Dylan, or Catherine Rivera, the instructor, a Canadian who is a senior serious game developer for US Department of Defense. And in the second week, we have each Zoom class, you will work on your own video game or serious games with instructors supporting you all, answering your questions as you code or programming your game prototype and in each and every course. So before I do my closing remarks, I just want to ask the speakers if you want to add anything, let everyone know your last remarks.
Thanks for asking, and thanks for adding that note about the Zoom sessions. It's really important. I'll stay for longer than 3 hours if you need extra help. I'm there every week online to help you. We walk through some examples, and the live support is really good, especially if you need help with your project. It's very valuable to be there for those Zoom sessions. So thanks for mentioning that. And yeah, I just want to say I do hope that you'll consider joining us, and I'll be here to help you along the way. And I'm excited to see what you create if you do end up joining us. Thank you.
Dr. Chris and Alex?
I'll let you end, Chris, but what I was saying is I have another hidden job market. We're pushing national unity and national legacy as well in Canada. And one of those components is our history, which we're not very good at visualizing. And one way of doing that is actually game programming to do that. So at TMU, I'm aware of at least 4 different faculty members who are using serious games to express things that happened in the past, and to avoid happening things that the same thing happening in the future. This is you making a decent contribution by learning how to do game programming and assisting us with moving us into the future, right? So there never seems to be an end to this, right? And I was not a big fan of game programming initially, but I've seen what it leads to, and it leads to some very effective applications and that have nothing to do with gaming, right? So and they pay. So, and that's my last thing.
Wonderful. My last thought is very simple. It's what I tell my students all the time, and that is this: people can't see you unless they can see you. Coming to a program like this and being seen for your superpower should be the goal. It's not about high marks, it's about high display. You're doing such good work that everybody sees it and wants to talk about it, because you can't AI yourself into a job. You might be able to, but when you sit there, they're going to say, what can you do? People will hire you for what you can do. They're not going to hire you for what you don't, because that doesn't even make any sense. We hope to see you in the upcoming sessions. Thanks so much for being with us.
Perfect. Thank you so much to our presenters today, and thanks to all of you for taking the time out of your day to attend today's online session. If you're interested in more information about the certificate presented today, please visit our website at continuing.torontomu.ca. If you have any other questions, please contact me via email at dato.bhendiretta@torontomu.ca. The contact information is in the comment panel. You'll also receive a follow-up email with this information, as well as a recorded session and a survey within 24 to 48 hours. On behalf of the Chang School and our presenters, thank you for joining us today, and have a great rest of your evening. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
I meant for that to be applause. My bad.